Okay. So again, hello, my name is Megan Troy. I'm the Assistant Director of Graduate Admissions for Halmos College, and a lot of you may already know me because I specifically work with the students that are applying for our Master's of Science in Biological Sciences. Today, we are here for our virtual open house. This is a lunchtime open house. We have a couple of students and alum who are here to speak with you, along with our department chair and faculty program directors for the programs that we offer. We're going to go through our PowerPoint, and there is a Q&A function. So anyone that's here that has any questions, feel free to put your questions in the Q&A. And at towards the end of the session, we will go through each of the questions. So again, I'm Megan Troy. This is my contact information for any of you who have not spoken with me about your application or any questions you might have about the application process. Feel free to jot down my information, and I'm happy to assist you guys once we are off of our Zoom for today. Want to give you a quick hello from the Dean of Halmos College. This is Holly Lynn Baumgartner. She served as our Dean here at Halmos College of Arts and Sciences in the Guy Harvey Oceanography Research Center at NSU since September of 2021. And just a little bit of an overview about NSU. So NSU was founded in 1964, and we offer over 280 undergraduate, graduate, and professional degree programs. We are a private nonprofit institution and are considered right now as a Hispanic service serving institution. We are accredited through our Southern Association of Colleges and Schools. And excuse me. And we just recently received one of only two private institutions in the state of Florida, R1 research designation. For the students that are applying to our biological sciences program, there are two main campuses that you need to know about. So our main campus is in Fort Lauderdale, the Davie campus. This is where majority of your coursework will take place for programs like health studies and our research program. But if you are in the research program, there may be a chance that you are going to work with some of our faculty members that have offices and labs on our oceanographic campus that's located in Dania Beach. And then NSU has a ton of other regional campuses. So if by chance you are out of town and you really need to use an NSU library, if you're in places like Orlando, Miami, West Palm Beach, Jacksonville, there are campuses in those areas that you as a student will have access to as well. Some of the facilities here at NSU that all of our students, undergrad and graduate alike, have access to is places like our Alvin Sherman Library, it's a research and information technology center. It's the largest library building in Florida, but it's located here on our main campus in Fort Lauderdale. And it's 5 stories with lots of resources, including things like the Writing Center, tutoring services, and of course, tons and tons of research textbooks. The Don Taft University Center is basically the focal point of our main campus, but it is also where campus life occurs. So it includes some of our athletics, it includes our student gym that you will also have access to, student cafeteria / food court, and a number of our performing and visual arts centers. We tell you all of this because as graduate students, you're not also just here to learn, but you do have access to all of these things that are located on our main campus, whether you're here every day or not. Some of the other unmatched facilities that we offer is the Levon Center, which is on the 5th floor of our library. Again, I had already mentioned the Rec Center that is in the University Center. We have swimming pools on campus. We have opportunities for our students to be involved in a lot of things. So this is just some of the photos of some of the places you're able to go as students here. So Halmos College specifically is divided between the main campus and our oceanographic center, like I mentioned previously, and we are divided up into the following departments. And today we're talking about the biological sciences. These are all of the degree programs you can get as graduate students here in Halmos College. And again, today, specifically, we're going to be talking about the degree in biological sciences. I'm going to turn it over to our department chair to talk a little bit more about her programs. Oops, sorry, wrong slide. This is Dr. Emily Schmidt-Lavin. She is the department chair for the the Department of Biological Sciences. She works with some of our graduate students, usually in the graduate seminar course, but you guys will hear from her as she introduces her staff.
Thank you. So I'm Dr. Schmidt, and welcome to our open house. We have 3 concentrations, which you're going to hear about shortly. And we've got 3 staff and 3 alumni here in the area to see about you. So Dr. Johnston you'll hear from. He is going to talk about our research and bioinformatics concentration. You've got Dr. Deanne Roopnerine. You're going to hear from her. She's going to talk about our health studies concentration. And we have Anthony in the audience in the panel here, who is a current student in health studies. We have Haley, who finished her research concentration, and Paisley, who did her bioinformatics work here and also now is working on her PhD. We're going to hear about our 3 concentrations, when they start. You've also got Gwen Hauer, who after you're finished with applying, she takes over working with you and making sure you're registered and a bunch of other wonderful things. So I'm going to pass it on so we can get into the details of our program, and you can really hear from our students and alumni. So welcome. Before I do, I guess suppose here we've got the 3 our features. We've got it's research driven for the research concentration. We've got our community, our faculty, and a very dynamic learning environment. So go ahead. I'm going to now introduce, well, here we go. We've got 3 forms, and I see there's a question in the chat already. 1 concentration is fully in person on the main campus. That's health studies. Our research concentration is hybrid. Some of the courses are online and some are on campus. And we've got our fully online with hybrid options for our bioinformatics concentration. Go ahead. Okay, now Dr. Roopnerine will be there ready to talk about the curriculum of our health studies concentration.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Roopnerine, and I'm the program director in the Department of Biological Sciences and primarily oversee some of the academics for the health studies curriculum. We are a 1-year program. That's 30 credits. We have 3 semesters. You start in the summer, fall, winter. We expect you to graduate in winter. We do have free Kaplan test prep courses that we offer in the summer for whatever standardized exam you're preparing for. And the plan is that you will take your standardized exams. By the time you are done with this 1-year program, you've made your applications and you're ready to get into your professional programs. To that end, we do have guaranteed interview agreements with a number of different programs, and you can see them listed there on that slide. You, of course, have to meet those specific program requirements, but a number of our students have taken advantage of this and have got into the programs of their choice. So you can see there on this slide the courses that you will be taking. You can see in the summer you have a lighter load. You have graduate seminar and a course specifically for the pre-dental students and physical diagnostic skills for the others. The reason for the lower light load is for the lighter academic load is that you are at this time also studying for your standardized exams and hopefully taking them no later than September if you want to get into your professional program the year after. In the fall, you are starting your very heavy classes. You have 4 courses there you can see: pathophys, pharmacodynamics, regional anatomy that has a lab associated with it, and advanced biochemistry. In the winter, you also have 4 courses. At the end of the winter semester, you do have a comprehensive exam that mimics the step exams that you have to take in professional programs. And after successful completion of that, you will graduate with your master's degree with a concentration in health studies.
All right. Welcome, everybody. So I'm Dr. Johnston, and I help to manage the research and bioinformatics concentrations. So starting with research, research is a 30 credit program, just like the health studies program. It is structured as a 24-month program, so over 2 years. It usually takes around that amount of time, sometimes takes a little bit over depending on your project, but it is designed as a 2-year program. So our students go in a number of different directions after they graduate. They can continue on to a PhD, go into medical programs, go directly into research, go into teaching. There's a lot of different directions. Kind of just depends on what your focus is in your education and what you want to do. Students do go at their own pace. There's not a set course map for how they work through the program. So you can take one class, take 3 classes. And so you can kind of tailor your program to how you want to study. That includes your final project. All research students have either a thesis or a capstone. The thesis involves a little bit more research credits. The capstone involves a little bit more coursework. Both of them produce a significant piece of writing that you present to your peers and the general public at the end of the semester. If you pass all that, then you graduate with your master's degree. So all students do start out on the capstone path, and if you do want to actually do a thesis, you need to do a little bit more work with the proposal and things like that. But you can learn more about that as you get into the program. So this is showing the curriculum of the research concentration. We have lots of electives. We have a number of, depending on if you're capstone or thesis, you take either 2 research credits or 4 research credits for thesis. Again, 30 credits. If you successfully defend your thesis or capstone at the end, you come away with your master's degree. One requirement is that you do need to maintain a GPA of 3% or 3.0 throughout the program. Okay, and I think the next slide is bioinformatics. So bioinformatics is a new program. We are in our 2nd or 3rd year now. Again, this is a 30 credit program, similar to the other 2. This is designed as a 16-month program, and this is a structured program where you take a prescribed set of courses in a prescribed order over 3 semesters. So you start in the fall of 1 year and you finish up in the fall of the next year. This program emphasizes computation, line command coding. You'll learn a lot about programming, a lot about working with biological data, focusing on genetic data. However, students are well prepared to move on to other kind of biocentric data and just data analysis in general if they choose afterwards. Again, graduates very much will be prepared in computational biology. I come from a programming background, and one of the first classes you'll take is biological data science, where you'll learn a lot about different types of data. And really data is data. So once you learn how to work with it, you can kind of go into whatever direction you want to go. I think the next slide shows our curriculum. So again, this is a prescribed order. You take the courses in a certain order during certain semesters. You take 4 classes first semester, 4 classes second semester, and then your 3rd semester is 3 courses. Again, 30 credits. You don't take any more than that. And you, again, must maintain a 3.0 GPA throughout the whole program. Okay, now I think we have some speaker spotlights.
Yes, want to thank Dr. Rubinarine and Dr. Johnson for highlighting their programs. And now I just want to introduce our current student and alumni speakers. We have representation for both our health studies, research, and bioinformatics. So we're going to turn it over to our students to introduce themselves. I will slide over to all of their slides, but for each of them to give their perspective of their time in the program.
So, hello, my name is Anthony Modafari. I'm a current health studies student. I'm in my final semester, and I was recently accepted to NSU's DO school, and I'll be attending that next semester. I definitely feel this program gives you a strong foundation and a lot of skills that will help you out in professional school, especially with the health studies concentration. Like, to some extent, I feel it almost directly mirrors kind of your first year of medical school. And I feel it's helped a lot, not only in the aspect of preparing yourself for that kind of workload, but also, as I mentioned earlier, when you're preparing for those standardized exams, you have all those free materials available. And then the program itself, even if you're not planning to immediately take the exam, the program definitely does an excellent job at covering all the material that will appear on those standardized exams.
Can I interject here 1 second, Megan, and just have Anthony also let the audience know that even though he will be attending NSU come in the fall, that he was accepted to other medical schools as well. So if you could just
Yes.
say that, Anthony.
Yeah, so I did apply to, I believe, 3 schools mainly total this term for DO, and I was offered for all 3 schools this semester. So that was LECOM, Orlando College of Medicine, and NSU's Karen C. Patel College of Osteopathic Medicine.
Congratulations. I think we have
Great.
Haley here to join us.
Hi, yes, I'm Haley Jowernick. So I am actually a two-time alumni from NSU. I graduated with my bachelor's in bio, and then I went on to the Master's of Biological Science program, where I did the research concentration and I did a capstone. During the program was a great experience. It really did teach me a lot, and it provided me with so many learning opportunities. One of the most valuable ones was being a teaching assistant, where I was able to teach Bio 1 lab, and I really enjoyed that because not only did it help me gain the confidence to publicly speak, but it did also help me refresh skills and see the new generation of students that are coming in and really help them enjoy learning science as well. After this program, I went on and now I'm an adjunct here at NSU. I teach Bio 1 and I teach applied microbiology. This is another great thing because not only did this program teach me a lot of critical thinking skills, which I don't believe is an innate thing for everyone. It is something that is taught and learned. I'm now able to apply these skills that I've learned in the program to my teachings to help this next generation of students gain the critical thinking skills that they will need for their future in whether it's healthcare, research, or just out in the real world with whatever they choose to do. I also feel like this program was very helpful with everyone that is involved. You could go to them very easily and ask them any questions. They help you brainstorm your project if you're stuck on anything and just help you out so much with whatever you need. They're all so patient and just, it was a great experience overall.
Hey everybody, my name is Paisley Samuel, and I'm actually a 3-time graduate with NSU. I've gotten my bachelor's here in marine science. I've gotten my master's in marine science, and I also finished my master's in bioinformatics last semester. And I also had the opportunity to be a TA throughout the entirety of my master's in bioinformatics, and not only to banking off of what Haley said, it did help me with my public speaking skills as well. But I just always enjoyed helping people and helping students. So I liked doing the TA job because of course, like I said, I love to help people. And actually, this semester is a gap semester for me because I start my PhD in oceanography and marine science in the fall. And being a part of the bioinformatics concentration was actually very helpful for me because I kind of dove in headfirst into bioinformatics for my master's thesis in marine science. And I really didn't really have much of a background. I liked doing computer stuff and I learned some programming languages, but it wasn't much for me to say like, oh yeah, I'm very proficient in bioinformatics. But um, as I went into the bioinformatics concentration, I basically learned everything that I would have loved to know before doing my master's thesis in marine science, because with the bioinformatics concentration, you learn Python, you learn R, you learn Jupyter Notebook, which is all different programming languages that you will be um, I guess, introduced to in the field of bioinformatics. So having that coursework kind of allowed me to further my bioinformatic tool set. And now I'm basically just like a bioinformatician at heart. I love bioinformatics so much. And that's actually what I'm going to end up doing for my PhD dissertation as well. It'll be heavy in bioinformatics and genomic data and all of that. So being a part of this concentration definitely gives you the tools to be able to say like, okay, I can definitely get a job as like an assistant bioinformatician um, along the lines. And also another thing that I really liked about the bioinformatics concentration is that it is fully online. So that gave me a lot of time to be able to reach out to other professors to see if I can do research with them while doing classes. So that's one thing that I actually really recommend is if you are in this concentration and you are in the state, you're close to main campus, close to the Oceanographic Center, definitely reach out to other professors who do bioinformatic work in their labs. So that'll help solidify those tools that you're given and applying them to the real world.
Thank you all. Thank you all. So these are current and alumni of the 3 programs, but we do want to still take time to highlight some of the students that weren't able to join us, but we want to highlight some of their successes as well. So I'm going to turn it back over to Dr. Roop Noreen to talk a little bit more about some of her health studies students.
So these are just a very few of our students who have gone on to professional work, and you can go to our website and see a lot more. Talon Tran would graduate in 2023. He took advantage of our guaranteed admission interview. He interviewed with Kansas City College of Osteopathic Medicine and he was accepted. So did Victor Manley, also took advantage of that and was accepted to Edward Via College of Osteopathic Medicine. Emily was actually accepted to 3 medical schools and she chose Orlando College of Osteopathic, and Derek is now at St. George's University School of Medicine in Grenada. Anissa went to DeBus College of Osteopathic. Myra actually took a non-traditional route. She is a researcher at National Institute of Health. She originally wanted to go to medical school. She got a job at the NIH, and now she's so interested in the research that she's doing there that 2 years later, she is still continuing her work there. Emily Chung took advantage once again, and Trinity, of our guaranteed admissions interview with NSU, Emily being accepted to our dental school and Trinity to the physician assistant program. Maria did the same thing. She also took advantage of our guaranteed admissions and got accepted to NSU College of Dental Medicine. Mark is on his way with Mississippi State physician program. And actually, I just got an email from Alex last week. He's wrapping up his 2nd year at Meharry College of Dentistry and looking forward to his clinical years beginning in the fall.
And
So these are just a few of the research concentration alumni. As I mentioned earlier, our graduates go in many different directions, whether that be to continue on their education, as Paisley is doing, or going into government jobs or go into private industry jobs. Really, a lot of it depends on what you want to study in your research project and if you want to continue on with that afterwards. So these are just a few of them. Sydney is going out for her PhD at North Carolina State University. Ivana, also a PhD student at Duke. And then Rebecca has gone another direction and gone directly into a role as a scientist at Pfizer. So again, these are just a few of them. You can go to our website, our alumni website, and check out what some of the other folks have done. I think there might be one more slide, maybe. Or is that all we had? Yeah. And then Paisley, of course, our star.
Yes. Paisley is our bioinformatics alum, so I moved her up to the top, so that's why she's not in the spotlight down towards the bottom.
Gotcha. Okay, thanks.
So it was great to hear from all of our faculty and former students and current student for our programs. And I know a lot of you guys have questions about, okay, I've heard all of the great information. I really am interested in coming into this program. So your next questions are probably for me. So this is the admissions team. Again, I specifically work with the students that are coming into the biological sciences programs, but anyone on our team can help you if you have any questions, if I'm out. I know a few of you emailed last week. I had been out the entire week, so I had some of my colleagues corresponding with you guys. So again, here is all of my contact information. I am easily available through email is usually the fastest way to get me, but also you can reach me by phone. And if you would like to schedule a meeting, I am on both the Oceanographic Center campus and the main campus in Davie. So you would just need to schedule it out to figure out which campus I'm on for the day. I generally will meet with students on the Davie campus. Again, Zoom is also a great way. We're on Zoom right now, and sometimes it's probably the easiest if you have just a couple of quick questions, but in-person or Zoom meetings are welcomes. So here are the admissions deadlines for students that are applying to these programs. Because each of these programs have different start dates, they do differ in when their application is due. Health Studies only admits students for the summer term, so all applications must be in no later than May 15th of 2025 if you are applying for this academic year. Of course, it's a program that comes every year, so if you are a junior or maybe you're graduating a little late and maybe you're looking at summer 2026, it's the same deadline, just 2026, so May 15th. For our students that are applying to our research concentration, this program admits students for the fall, the winter, and the summer. So on the screen are the upcoming deadlines for them. So summer is still open. If you're interested in starting the research program this summer, you have until April 18th. So a little over 2 weeks to get your applications in for this upcoming summer for research. For fall, you have until July. And then for winter of this year, those applications are due no later than November. When we are in a certain season, if you've applied a little early, you're probably not going to hear back right away. Right now, we are working on students who are applying for summer and fall for research, and we'll start to look at the winter applicants once we have completed our summer admissions. For bioinformatics, this program is only open to our students during the fall semester. So every year, fall, we will enter in a new class of bioinformatics students, and the application deadline for this is July 18th. Okay, so here is some of the most important information. If you are applying for our programs, what is it that you need to provide us? So of course, the first thing is the online application. You can go directly to the NSU website to apply. You click apply now, graduate, and then submit your application there. There is a $50 application fee. And once you have submitted your application, the required documents that we need you to provide are all of your official transcripts. And if you are an international student or you went to school overseas, you will need to submit your official transcripts to a credit evaluation and, to an WES or NACIS approved credit evaluation service. So you'll need to have your transcripts translated and evaluated so that they can send it to us to let us know what the equivalency is to the NSU or a school here in the US. And then your resume or CV. And if you are an international student, depending on the country that you're coming from, you may be required to provide proof of English language proficiency. You can always email me to find out whether or not your country is one that has a waiver and does not need to provide that. And then, of course, overall GPA. At minimum, a student must have a 2.85 to be considered, but majority of the students that are admitted into the program do have a 3.0 GPA or higher. So for consideration, again, a minimum of 2.85 for consideration. We're asking that your resume has at least three references, and one of those references being academic. So a faculty member, you can provide us with their name and their contact information at the bottom of your resume or as a secondary attachment to your resume. And then the online application portal. Again, it's a very simple portal. As soon as you create your application, you can sit and go through it in just a couple of minutes. Most important is to make sure you fill out your demographic information correctly. When you are choosing your program and concentration, let me see if I can go back, sorry. Please keep in mind that the programs all have different start dates. So if you are applying to health studies, please choose summer. If you're applying to bioinformatics, please only choose fall. If you're applying to research, you can choose any of the three, but it does take additional time if you apply for the wrong term, and then we have to go back into your application and change the term. Once we have received your completed application, you should give the committee between 7 and 10 business days to review and make a decision for your admissions. Admissions decisions generally are going to be emailed directly to you at the email address that you use to apply. So I frequently get students who will ask for a decision, and I had already sent their decision a couple of days before. So please remember which email address you're using on the application, because that's where your admissions decision will come. And then once you're admitted, the very first thing you're going to have to do once you've decided that NSU is where you would like to continue your education is submit a seat deposit. Your seat is not here unless you have a seat deposit. So the class won't close, but I'll let you know if we're getting closer to a time where the classes can close. Bioinformatics is an online program, so it can seat a lot more students than our research and our health studies programs, where those students have to be in person for majority of their program. So it's very important that if you do intend to come to NSU, you make your seat deposit, and we provide you with a deadline for each of the programs on when your seat deposit will be due. Of course, once you have submitted your seat deposit, I will notify the department, and then Gwen, who you met earlier, will get with you to talk to you about your classes and when it'll be time for you to register. So our students who are applying for health studies and maybe to start in the summer for research, that time is now. We are starting to register our students for this upcoming semester. So if you are interested and you've already been accepted, go ahead and get your seat deposit in so you can go ahead and get registered for your classes. Here is the tuition and fees costs for our programs. All three of our programs are 30 credits. So the pricing is the same for research, health studies, and bioinformatics. It's the same cost for each of these programs. The institutional fees may vary between students, depends on what you need, whether you have to have health insurance or not. But these are the costs for your total program for each of the three programs. So for financial aid options, our students who are interested in applying for financial aid, you as a US citizens can apply for the FAFSA. So you would go on to FAFSA like you did for undergrad, submit all of your information, and our financial aid office will then process a financial aid package for you. Outside of traditional financial aid, of course, we have payment plans here at NSU. So if you're a student that has a balance, or if you have to pay your tuition outright, you can contact our bursar's office to schedule a payment plan. You must always do this prior to the start of the semester. This is not something they can do once your classes start. You have to have this already solidified before classes begin. When it comes to scholarships, this is not something done through admissions. This is something done on the university level, the department level, and the college level. So if there are scholarships currently available, you can find all of them on our university financial aid website. There is a scholarship section that will give you the information on what the scholarships are and how to apply for them. If they are available, you can apply, and if you're awarded them, congratulations. I'm very happy to hear that. Something that is specific to the Department of Biological Sciences, you heard Haley and Paisley both mention it, to be a a teaching assistant here for the department. So this allows for our students to earn a $10,000 award. $5,000 of it goes towards your tuition each semester that you are a TA, and then the other $5,000 is paid to you during the semester that you are a TA. So it's a $10,000 award in total. And you would have to speak with Gwen once you've been admitted if you are interested in applying for a TA position. Students are not required to be TAs, but as they both mentioned, it was very helpful for them in their successes and going on forward after they've graduated from our programs. So it's something that we definitely encourage if that is something that you are interested in. There are additional graduate assistantships on our campus. You can apply for those through our JobX, same as the teaching assistantship. So there are other positions within other departments and within our own college that students can apply for. If you're interested in that, once you've been an admitted student, you can go through the JobX portal to apply for them.
And I would like to add, we have some competitive summer tuition scholarships as well, and they will be based on an application that Gwen is managing, and they're competitive and for people who are already applied and registered. So you'll want to be seeking those opportunities quickly.
Wonderful to hear. If you are part of either of these organizations, so if you are an employee of Broward County Sheriff's Office, or if you are active duty or retired military, or the dependent of active duty retired military, you can seek out more information about program discounts through our Veterans Affairs Office. So there's the contact information right on our screen. So if you are one of those students that this may apply to, go ahead and take a screenshot of this so that you have the contact information. If for some reason you can't find it later, feel free to email me and I'll be happy to share it with you. So for all of our students, if you are deciding to come to NSU, once you are here, you're going to register for your classes. Then there's going to be more information that you're going to want to find. Our graduate program catalog is a great way to see the course descriptions for all of the classes that you'll be taking, but it also has academic calendars for the upcoming academic school years. So if you're trying to figure out when your midterms and your finals will be, you can look at our graduate program catalog to figure those things out. And then to keep in contact with us, what's going on here at NSU, what's going on in Halmos College, and then sometimes what's going on directly with our departments. Here are all of our social medias that you can follow us on. And if you are not here today and you're watching this secondary on our Halmos YouTube page, thank you for stopping by. So now we'll take some time to go over questions. Again, there is a Q&A function. If you would like, put your questions there and we'll go ahead and start to answer them. Let's see. So there was one question earlier that was asking about potential of hybrid learning, and Dr. Schmidt did answer that while she was talking earlier, but the only program that does not have any type of hybrid function is going to be our health studies program. That is a fully on-campus, in-person program, while our research program has hybrid style because some of the classes are online and some of them are in person. And then our bioinformatics program is fully online, but it does have the capability of have students taking some of the coursework in person if they would like.
Yeah, and I wanted to mention also, it is possible for research students to be completely online as well. It would depend on the type of project that they're going to do, but it is a possibility.
Okay, so our next question is about how many students are in the health studies program each year, and what are the dates for the summer and winter semesters? So Dr. Rootmering, would you like to answer the first part of that question?
Yes. On average, we have maybe about 30 students in the health studies concentration. We do try to keep our class sizes small because we like to offer strong mentorship for our students. And for the summer, we are starting on June 23rd, will be the day of our orientation, and then classes begin on June 24th. Megan, I saw there was another question asking how many students in the health studies concentration get accepted to NSU College of Dental Medicine. About 75% of the students that apply do get into NSU's College of Dental Medicine. However, the other 25% do get into other schools of dental medicine. Last year, our dental students had 100% acceptance. And the year before, there was 100% acceptance for dental students.
Wonderful. So another student had a question about the GPA. So while we mentioned that a 2.85 for consideration, our website still says 3.0. This is specifically for students because each of our programs will look at each student on a case-by-case basis. The average student comes into our program with over a 3.0. There are cases of students who have worked really hard to bring their GPAs up, and each of our faculty members and the committee will go over those students' applications. And so they don't say no immediately. They still want to review your application if you don't fall above the 3.0. Let's see. Under what circumstance could a student pursue the research concentration with 12 credits per semester instead of 9? Dr. Johnston?
So they can, students can take 12 credits. However, that's a very heavy load for a master's program, and I would advise against doing that, just because you do have to maintain a high GPA. So from experience in the past, students that have tried to cram their way through, have not done as well, because the classes are fairly intensive. So while we don't not let them do that, we don't encourage it.
Thank you. Are there any other questions?
I did want to quickly add on to something Dr. Rupneri mentioned earlier, which I kind of forgot to mention when I was speaking, is our small class size. I feel like that is one of a major advantages of our program, is being able to actually have the time and sit down and talk to your faculty to go through all the small details. It's not something you can really get in a lot of programs, and it's one of the main advantages at Nova now.
To add on to that, we didn't talk about research in bioinformatics as far as class sizes. They're fairly small. It's not a large program. So again, you get a lot of one-on-one attention in all of the research and bioinformatics courses as well.
And just in case any of the students here were wondering, Megan, as soon as you're accepted to the health studies concentration and the semester begins, you are assigned an academic mentor that will be your academic mentor throughout the entire time that you're in the program.
So that brings another thought of mine. So oftentimes students will ask if they are in the research concentration I'm talking about here, if they are required to have an advisor lined up before they enter the program. We certainly encourage students to reach out to faculty members to see if they're willing to take on a student. So for example, if you want to study the genetics of bacteria in Lake Okeechobee, and you know that Dr. Lopez is a specialist in that, you can certainly reach out to him and see if he's has openings in his lab to be able to take you on. That's not required during the application process, but we certainly do encourage that. Once you get into the program, you'll be required to actually find your advisor, find a faculty member that's willing to advise you, and also form a committee. But that does not have to be done necessarily before you enter the program.
Okay, looks like we got another question. When will we receive the Kaplan program? So this one for Dr. Rupneri.
So as soon as you are registered, you pay your deposit and you have registered for summer and fall classes, that is when you will receive an email from the department asking you exactly what standardized exam you're preparing for, and then we will get you signed up with Kaplan. So no later than start of classes, which is June 23rd. However, students do register for their fall and summer classes before. We do get you access to Kaplan before.
And you'll start to see emails from me again. Registration has already opened for summer, like I mentioned, and registration for fall classes will start soon. And usually my tag on those emails is that you get your Kaplan information once you are fully registered for both your fall and summer classes for health studies. Okay, so I want to thank everyone for joining us for today's virtual open house. If you have any questions, again, my name is Megan Troy. You can feel free to send me an email or give me a call. On the screen is also the general phone number and email address for our Office of Admissions. So if for some reason you forget my name and you forget my email address, you're more than welcome to email there as well. Myself and the rest of the team do have access to this email. And I want to thank all of our faculty and students who came to join us to give you their experiences with our programs. We hope that you all have a wonderful day, and we'll see you guys soon, hopefully.